are selling our off-grid homestead property. We're going to give you a tour of the property so you can see what all is included with this wonderful turnkey off-grid homestead property. This is our cabin. This property includes 2 cabins. This is the first cabin, the main cabin. So come on in. Come here. This is our dog, Sachi. She's really old and she has trouble getting around, so if you see her limping around, that's why. She's 14 years old. She's a sweetie. She does not come with the cabin though. Cabin. It is a 1-room cabin, 12 by 20. So I'm going to show you around and tell you the things that are going to be included with the cabin and also the things that we have done to be able to live comfortably off-grid. We'll start with the kitchen area. We've already set up water, rain catchment for the water here. There are some people a couple miles away who had a well dug, so that's always an option, but we've been using rain catchment here and we get plenty of water that way. And the system's already set up and we're going to include that with the cabin. So here's what we do for our kitchen sink. We just fill up this bucket with water, rainwater, and then put it under here, and there's a little tube that comes down that you put in there and it attaches to this pump. So it works great, real easy to use. I really enjoy using the pump for my kitchen sink. It's fun. So this is going to stay. We are including this. This is a beautiful copper top antique dry sink, and we have fitted it out with this above the countertop sink. This is just an antique bowl that we bought, and then it actually has a drain cut into it, and then there's piping that goes out into the yard into a gravel pit out there. So that works really great. This is going to come included for cooking. We're not leaving this here, but it's very simple to just set up a Coleman stove, and we use this for our cooking, and it works great. So that's what we would recommend for cooking. We're going to take all of our pots and pans, but we are leaving this awesome pot rack, so you'll be able to use that. All the shelving is staying, so that's a great place for storage of all of your kitchen stuff. For drinking water, we use a Berkey filter. We are taking this with us, but we recommend getting one for yourself. We've been drinking rainwater that is filtered through this Berkey filter, and it works great. Haven't had any problems at all, and it tastes really good. The only thing that you probably would need to get in order to live here full time is some sort of refrigeration. We don't live here full time right now. We will spend a week at a time, come out for the weekends, and we just bring a cooler. We got one of these really great Arctic coolers. They're similar to the Yeti coolers, only a lot cheaper, and I put some milk jugs with frozen water in there, and then that will stay cold up to a week. So that's how we handle it. When we were planning on moving out here and living here full time, we were going to get a propane refrigerator, but our neighbors about a half a mile away, they use solar power, and they have a pretty nice size, full size refrigerator that they run on solar power with no problem. So really all you would need to do is get an electric fridge and run it on the solar power system that's already set up. This is the bedroom area. We're going to take all the furniture except we're thinking about leaving the bed. So whoever buys this property, if they wanted us to leave the bed, we would probably do that for them. So might have a bed here for the bathroom sink. So we just heat up water on the Coleman stove and then fill this up and wash up just like they used to do in the olden days. And that works great. We've got our bathroom set up out there, which we'll show you in a minute. This is our Big Buddy propane heater. This is what we use for heating the cabin. This cabin is very well insulated. The walls, the ceiling, the floors. So it's really easy to keep it warm with just a little heater like this. And this just runs on one of those little propane tanks. So you just make sure you have some extra propane tanks, and that'll keep you comfortable during the winter. We have a really neat lighting system set up in here that runs with solar power. You can see the Sun King Home 120. That's a little battery box that stores the power. There are 2 little solar panels up on the roof. This system works great. We just love these lights. And then plus there's also a USB port, so you can use that to charge up your phones and your other little electronics. Here's how these lights work. You can see them right up here. This set comes with 3 separate lights. We got one here, one over there, and there's one behind Craig above the bed. And each one has their own little switch. It has 3 different settings. And these things will run forever. We have never used up all of the power. Even when it's cloudy outside or stormy, we always have enough power to run these lights. They're very bright. They really light up the cabin. It's just like as bright as it would be if you're in the city using regular electric lights. So we love these. We have our solar system wired to the cabin as well. We have 2 power outlets, this one and then there's one on the other wall. You just have that going directly from the power converter from the solar system, and so you can plug in anything that you would normally plug in your city house. You can plug in and use it here. You just want to make sure and watch your power levels. Some things use a lot of energy. The other outlet is right here, so really convenient. Plug in your TV.
TV.
So here is our little station for our cell signal booster, and we also have a satellite dish that we run here. Obviously we can't leave the satellite dish because that's a paid service, but it works great. So if that's something you wanted to set up, I run a website development business and I'm able to work out here with no problem. So if you need to get hooked up with satellite, get online, watch TV, whatever you want to do, you can do that using a satellite dish really easily. We do have a cell signal booster that works really great during the winter. During the summer, when there's a lot of leaves on the trees, it kind of cuts down on that signal, and you can't really use that very well during the summer. But the satellite dish works great year-round. This is our dining area. This is a really handy thing that we bring out here when we're going to be here on weekends. It'll even last up to a week. It's just a little battery pack. So we take it back to the city with us and charge it up. And then it has all these different kind of plugs. So you can charge your phones. It has a regular plug if you want to charge or plug something else in. It just works great. It lasts a long time. So I definitely recommend something like that. This cabin is attached to a shipping container. We have a door right there that goes out into it. And we use that for storage, kind of like our garage. I wanted to leave a little bit of the shipping container showing because I just love this. I think it looks really cool. I love that little flag that's painted on the side of it. So we left this part open so you can see the side of the shipping container, and we set up these shelves so it's kind of neat. Looks neat, and you can use it for some storage.
So now we're giving you a little tour of the outside of the cabin. You got this amazing front porch that we've spent many hours on, enjoying the beautiful weather, looking at nature. We've seen deer come up into the yard. It's just a beautiful place to sit. The screen porch that we added on, and this was an amazing addition. One of the best things we did. We've really spent hours upon hours sitting out here on this screen porch, enjoying the view. You can see back to our field. We can always see deer. We've got a game camera set up right back there and a salt block for the deer, so we always can watch deer. And to make the screen porch usable a little longer, we set up a fire table out here. So even if it gets down into the 40s, we run that fire table and it's still very comfortable to sit out here. So that's been a great addition that's allowed us to use this screen porch for a longer period of time through the seasons, and we just love it. Rain catchment system. We have one set up here on the cabin. It's 2 55-gallon drums that feed off of the roof of the cabin. Provides us so much water. It's just amazing. You get one good rain and it'll fill up both of those barrels. So we've never had any problem having enough water to water the garden, using that water for doing dishes, taking baths, all those kind of things. Everything that we need, including drinking water, now that we've got the Berkey filter. It's a cheap way to get your water versus drilling a well. We've set up this satellite Wi-Fi dish. This works as well as our Wi-Fi system does at home. It's just as fast, so it's a great setup. Recommend it if you need Wi-Fi and you need Connect. So if you look way up there, that is the receiver for the cell phone booster. In the winter, fall, anytime there's not leaves on the trees, it works very well, but as soon as you get full leaf cover, it cuts down on its ability to work, so that's why we ended up going to the satellite Wi-Fi, because Blue needs to work. You can see the shipping container, which is great for storage. It's a 40 feet by 8 feet by 10 feet tall, so it's one of the high boy shipping containers. It is the best thing for storage. It's watertight. There's no mice or rats or any kind of critters can get in there because it's sealed up tight. So it's the best storage system that you could ask for. of stuff and it's full. So we have riding mower, barbecue grill, our gas, propane, which Blue showed you inside our big buddy heater. This is where we keep the propane for it. Just to make it a little safer, we drilled a hole through the side of the shipping container and we run the hose from the propane tank into the heater. Just makes it a little bit safer. You don't want to have the propane tank inside with the heater. Here's the door that she mentioned that goes into the cabin. Easy access to your storage. You don't have to go outside. Another lighting system that we have in here that works very well. It's different than what we have in the cabin. It is solar powered. And in here, from the solar panels on top of the shipping container, comes into a charge controller. And then from the charge controller, that goes to the batteries. And then off the batteries, we have an inverter. So the charge controller is what keeps the batteries from being overcharged. So once they're fully charged, this automatically goes into float charge and prevents you from overcharging the batteries. Then whenever they go down, this kicks in, you start charging again from the solar power. Currently we have 4 125 amp hour batteries and have a 2500 watt pure sine wave inverter. And from that, we have the wiring going out into the cabin. We have 2 receptacles in there so you can run anything off AC power that you want, a fan, whatever you want to run, laptop. This inverter converts the DC power of the batteries to AC power so that you can run normal appliances and things that run on AC. Works out great. We haven't had any issues. Lots of sun up here normally, so we usually get plenty of power to run whatever we need to run. This is included. Then this is a 275 gallon water tank. This is what we use in the winter because being inside the shipping container here, we've never had a problem with it freezing up. We do put some insulation while we're gone around the faucet just to make sure that it doesn't freeze up. So what we do before the first freeze is we'll empty out all of our water barrels that we have outside and we'll empty them into this tank. And for us, the amount of time that we come out here every other weekend and a week occasionally, this will normally last us through the winter. If you need to, the local fire department for $50 will drive out and fill it up for you if you need that, if you can't get enough rainwater to keep it full. Pretty good deal, I think.
Take a look at our bathroom. So that we have the very end of the shipping container sectioned off. We have walls built here with a door, and our bathroom is on the other side of this. And the lights that we have in the shipping container are another solar system, and this one actually has a little remote, and you just turn it off and on. This way they work great. So we did another video about our bathroom situation, so you can take a look at that if you're interested. But this is what we recommend for out here. We use the Humanure dry composting method. We just do our stuff in here. We have one of these camping toilet lids, plastic toilet lids that snaps on top of a regular sized bucket. You do your business in there, and then you put peat moss on top of it, and then once you fill up your bucket, you take it out and put it in your compost bin. It works great. There's no smell. You can provide your own bucket if you want to use this system. It's a nice little sized bathroom. The closest neighbors that we have, they use the same method right now, but they're getting ready to set up a septic tank system, so that's also an option. If you're scared of heights, this is how you get up on top of the shipping container. And you crawl around. Make sure you keep your feet wide apart so that you don't all of a sudden lurch to the side and fall off to your death. I'm not kidding.
Or you can do a little jig up here. So, anyway, we just have 4 100 watt solar panels set up here. It gives us plenty of power for the things that we want to run now, but would be an easily expandable system. You can add more solar panels very easily. And then down where I showed you the batteries, you can add more batteries to expand your power system very, very easily. And then these 2 small panels are for the lighting systems that we showed you inside. One for the cabin, the 3 lights, and then the other system has 2 lights that we use in the shipping container. Both of them work very, very well. It's all staying, so you'll be set up with your lighting system. up here on top of the shipping container and it gets a little windy and your ladder blows over, which has happened to us before. We developed an escape route. Added some handles. Come off the side, step on the door, climb your way down the door. Works like a charm.
I'm not gonna go down that way. Our property lies in the beautiful wooded hills of southeast Missouri between Piedmont and Annapolis, Missouri. It's about 2.5 hours southwest of St. Louis, Missouri.
Next, we're going to take a look at our barn slash shed. Some people may think it's too small to be called a barn. This barn we use for additional storage, mostly tools and that. It's 12 by 16, has a small loft up there for additional storage. Used for tool storage, have our cat pipes in here. There's miles and miles of gravel roads and trails out here, so if you're into biking, cat pipes are great. So it's just a great little extra space for storage. You can put some bigger things in here, and we just love it because it's got the style of an old school barn, is what we wanted, and I think it turned out well. Probably leave the windows because we'd had a plan to build another cabin, so I don't think we're going to have a use for those, so we'll probably leave the windows. So if you decide to expand or build another cabin, you got a head start on some windows.
Your homestead garden has already been started for you. We got wonderful 6-foot fence that keeps out all the critters so nothing can get in there and eat all of your veggies. So I've already been working the dirt and putting compost in there to get the dirt good, and there's already really good dirt here because if you've watched any of our videos, you know we've had to have this landing zone right back here that was all up in here with piles of trees when they clear cut this area, and so you've got 15 years worth of rotting trees in this ground, and so it is the best ground for growing. First couple of years I didn't need to add anything to this dirt, probably still don't need to add anything really, and everything, the garden was just amazing. We've had freeze after freeze and we still have kale growing, so it's really good dirt. I'm very sad to leave this amazing dirt. I hope that our property has some good dirt so I can grow some good gardens out there as well. So we got a little gate. It has a habit of slamming shut on you, so you want to make sure and put this down here so you don't get stuck in there. I learned that the hard way. I also made a little cheat so you can, if you do get stuck in there, you can open it. Oh well, you better make sure. There you go. So you can open it and let yourself out instead of having to yell for your husband to come release you from your garden prison. It's a really wonderful garden space, big enough for plenty of food to start off your homestead. Included 1 compost bin. Got 3 separate bins here. If you want to cure some of your compost, that helps you keep track of it. 1 bin for 1 year, then move to the next bin for the next year. And so here we've already got 3 years worth of compost started. That was the very first bin that we used, so we know it's good and ready. It's been composting and curing for 3 years at this point. So that's really good, deep, rich, dark dirt, and we've already used a lot of that in our garden. We've got a rain catchment system set up on our barn as well. So you can see this comes down, fills up this water tank, and we got another one on the other side. So I use this one for watering my garden. And I've got another video that shows how I set up an automatic gravity-fed watering system for the garden. So that would be something that's so easy to set up. This is right next to the garden, so all you need are a few hoses and soaker hoses and some timers, and you could set that up very easily. You could also use this water if you wanted to use it just for yourself as well, like we do with the water that we get from the other system we have set up off the cabin. If you've looked at our videos, you have seen several videos we've done about the field behind the cabin. We just finished clearing this field. It used to be covered with a horrific mounds of rotting trees and took us 3 years to get it all burned down to the ground and cleared, but it is done now. It is ready for the next owner to do whatever you want. It's a beautiful, almost flat field. We were planning on building a cabin there, but you could use it for anything. You could use it for another garden or put pens for animals, just whatever you wanted to. Just maybe plant some clover so it would be food plots to bring in more deer. Want to use this property for hunting. So anyway, we did the work for you. This property includes 34 acres. Most of it is wooded. We have the top of the mountain here has been completely cleared, so there's a big area that has been cleared to do whatever you want with. We have done a lot of work cutting trails through the woods. There's an entire trail system now because we really enjoy hiking, but it'll also come in handy if you want to hunt. almost a mile worth of trails that have already been cut. There's a whole system that kind of interconnected trails so that you can get to the different areas of the property. This trail goes down to the ravine. There's a really beautiful ravine that's full of water every time it rains. You can go down through the ravine and then come back up another trail over there, and there's another trail over here. There's just a whole network of trails. It's really beautiful. Of course, that would need to be maintained so it doesn't grow up, but the animals are already using these trails and keeping it in pretty good condition. So a lot of it's going to stay walkable even if you don't do any work to it at all. You definitely could use it for hunting right away.
We've harvested deer from this spot. We have a salt block right over there. You can see some of our game cam pictures. There's always deer and turkey coming in through this spot. So if you're a hunter, this is prime country for deer and turkey, and additionally rabbits and squirrels too as well. So, and if you fish, there's a lot of amazing fishing very close too. So if you go 20-25 minutes to the east, you've got the Black River, which has some great fishing and is also amazing for kayaking or canoeing if you like that. And then the same distance, 20-25 minutes to the west, is Clearwater Lake, which is some of the best fishing in the area. So if you're a hunter or a fisherman, this is the place. Also, within walking distance of this property is a 2,700 acre Missouri conservation area that is open to the public for hunting. They have food plots there, there's ponds, and it's 2,700 acres. So there's plenty of ground to hunt over there as well if you want to try something different than your own property. So it's amazing having that basically at your back door. It's beautiful, full of trails that you can hike, beautiful old pine forest there. It's just a beautiful piece of property that you can enjoy in many ways.
This property comes with 2 cabins. So we've got another cabin just right across the road here. So we're gonna take you over and show you that cabin as well. We just used it as a guest cabin.
It's a short walk that way. This was just a pretty rough hunter cabin when we bought the property, so we finished it out. We've added this porch on the front and this amazing little outhouse. So the same as in the main cabin, it's set up for composting toilet. So you can see the bucket underneath. This one has an actual toilet. Same concept though. You have the bucket, do your business, cover it up with peat moss, and then when the bucket's full, you just slide it out and go empty it into your compost bin. Works out really well.
Best doing your business view ever.
Let's take a look inside cabin number 2. Just a little one room, set up very nicely though. More for water, we just got one of these igloo coolers, and then we have this wash tub. You can use to wash dishes, wash your hands, do whatever you do with that. And also have another little propane stove set up in here. Shelving, your dishes and cups and silverware and the things that you need. Shelves are gonna stay. The rest of the stuff, the couch, the little table, that table there is we're taking. I think we're gonna leave the cots, so at least somebody has somewhere to sleep if you got somebody come down to visit you or hunt with you. There's a hole through the wall down here to run the hose through to set up your propane heater if you'd like. Same in here, the Sun King lighting system. It works great. The solar panel is up on the roof. It's a great little guest cabin. If you have people come down to visit, this is a very comfortable place for them to stay. Shows you the hole through the wall where you could run your hose for your propane heater. And we just set up this little box out here that perfect to put your propane tank in and hook up and run your hose into there. It's very safe. That works out great, protects your propane tank, keeps you safe by not having it in the cabin. Drink your morning coffee and look at this amazing view. Cabin number 2, Have a really nice little pavilion over here that's set up for picnicking or whatever. You got a picnic table in there. It's just a great place to set up your barbecue grill under there and grill. It's just a really nice little space to have so you can enjoy the outdoors. The other thing that's real nice about the guest cabin is if you have people come and stay, instead of having to walk from the other cabin or carry their stuff from over there, you have your own road into the guest cabin that comes off the main logging road out there. So it's an easy drive up here to the guest cabin, and it's a pretty little road.
So there you go. That is our tour of our off-grid homestead property that is currently available for sale to worthy individual or couple or family who would love to enjoy this beautiful property and experience off-grid living. It also would be a great hunting cabin for a hunter. So hope you enjoyed this tour.
If you're interested, you can either send us a message on our YouTube channel or you can go to the website, hermitsway.com, and contact us through that if you are interested in the property, and then through personal messaging we can talk about pricing.
Have you come out for a personal tour? I'll put a link to the website in the comments so you can go there. If you don't want to leave your contact information in the YouTube comments, you can send us a message through the website, so that way it'll be private. Nobody will get your information that way except us. Anything else?
I think that's it.
All right. Don't go anywhere, YouTube subscribers. Our adventures have just begun. We're going to take you along with us for a new property in a different location and continue our homesteading adventure. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button and leave us some comments and let us know what you think. Please share this video if you know of anybody who might be interested in this property. Send them a link to the video and tell them about us. See you later! Okay, so since we made the video tour of our property for sale, we have sold half of it. So we sold our 20 acres that's over with the guest cabin. So we still have for sale the original 13 acres and the main cabin with the solar power setup and the rain catchment system, our barn, our shipping container, and the garden. All of that is still available, and 13 acres. And so it's a beautiful, beautiful piece of property. So if you are interested, contact us right away because we have some people already interested, so I think this is going to go fast.